Hello, welcome to the garden. It's Anna. Today I have a garbage bag out here with me because I need to do some garden clean out. Even though we've got so many beautiful flowers, so many beautiful things happening in the garden right now, we're also starting to get into that time of year where some crops are kind of dying off, and I'm going to be replanting a few things and starting to plant some of the fall things, late summer things. And so I need to make a few hard decisions on some plants and clear some stuff out of the garden. And the first thing that's got to go is one of my zucchini plants. I'm actually so devastated about this, but it got vine borers and it just, here, I'll show you what it looks like. One of my most productive zucchini plants. It was doing so well. You can see all that growth on there. But if you look at the stem, it has been just, completely destroyed. So I'm gonna pull that out and I'm gonna throw that out because I don't want any of that staying in my garden. I am going to try to replant it with some more squash. I'm gonna give it a little while. I don't know, I've gotta look up a little bit more about if I need to do anything to treat that area before I replant into it. But I started some more seeds for squash actually in my last video, but I shot that just like about a few days ago. So, you know, YouTube time. So I actually have some starts that I think can go in there. This little Gelber English or custard squash is coming up, and I'm going to give it a couple more days before I plant it in there. But I'm just going to go ahead and pull out that old squash so that I'm going to be ready to go. And then while I'm removing the old zucchini, I also started some of these Waltman butternut squashes, and I think I'm going to replace a couple of the other plants that I have that, I don't know, they're just not looking good. So the squash in this grow bag has kind of been like not, it's got some flowers on there and I'm like tempted to wait and see what happens, but it's also had a long time to go. And you can see, oh look, see, I didn't even notice. Okay, never mind. So it has to come out because the vine borers got this one as well. Would you look at that? Goodness. Well, now I gotta better go check my other squash and see if they have that. This one, yep, looks like it's got some of that damage happening too. And it's splitting, so I'm just gonna remove this squash. And then I have one more squash over here. It so far looks okay. Nope, they've got to it as well. Okay, all of the squash. I think that's the only thing that I really have to remove are gonna be these squash plants. They all need to come out. My pumpkins still look okay. Whew. Although I haven't gotten any pumpkins on them. They're growing right here, kind of flowering, but not doing a whole lot. So we'll see about that. Oh, I do have one more dead plant. Sad, this Gloriosa daisy is looking pretty bad. I'm gonna cut it basically back to that one little stalk that looks all right and see if that will refresh. And I'm gonna clean out, you know, some of the things like these leaves on the Swiss chard and probably, you know, stake up the peppers and do like some maintenance. But it's just that time of year where things start to need to be kind of controlled, corralled, and unfortunately removed in some cases. Sorry, squash. Okay, let me get after this. It certainly looks a little bit more empty over here, but hopefully soon it'll be filled up with the trailing butternut squash and then the custard squash as well. There is still time for certain varieties of like zucchinis and patty pans and those kind of squash to produce fruit in the season still. A lot of varieties of those kinds of squash that are like 50-day varieties. So if you still have 50 days before your first frost date, which I'm sure a lot of us do, then you have definitely time to get some of those going, which is kind of nice. I'm trying to decide if I want to put, like, start any seeds. I may put in 1 or 2 squash seeds, like in one of these containers. I may throw in another kind of squash. We'll see how we go over the next week or so. And yeah, just cleared out. I tied back these peppers a little bit, which was good. And you know, a little sad to see that zucchini go away, but on to another variety. I'm excited to try this custard zucchini. I think it'll be really interesting. I've never had those, but last year I grew a lot of patty pans. I grew the Sunburst patty pan, which is on my list for next year because I really missed it. Honestly, that was such a good variety. And the patty pan squashes are really interesting because you know, you can use them similar to how you would use any kind of a zucchini, you know, any kind of those same recipes, but they're sweeter and they have a different kind of depth of flavor. I actually like them better, I think. So I'm excited to have some of those going. Anyways, I just wanted to take you around the garden with me as I discovered what was going on with the zucchini and got them ready, and you know, getting the garden slowly but surely ready for fall. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day in your garden. Bye-bye.